Okay, so yeah. All right, so we recovered from the crash. I think I just had to throw out that old sequencer. I made a new one. I built something that I think it's not going to work exactly right, but it's kind of close. This sequence over here is going to send a signal every 5 seconds to the dispenser, and if the dispenser has any empty buckets, it'll fill them from the pool of water. This engine and this pipe pulls things into here, and this diamond pipe sends full buckets onto the crafting table, and there are 2 there already, and sends empty ones back into the dispenser. I think if I have enough buckets there, then hopefully there will always be one in there when the signal comes, or else I can just make this take longer. I can make it do like every 10 seconds. And then this diamond pipe over here is pulling stuff out of the crafting bench. If it's a bucket, it'll go back into the system towards the dispenser, and if it's a block of concrete, it will go over here to the chest. So when I turn all these engines on, then basically that bench should start making concrete and putting it in the chest. Alright, so I'll flip this switch. And that will start pumping the gravel and the sand down into the chest. Yeah, the engine is pulling the buckets out as fast as I can put them in. There's only going to be buckets in the system for like a fraction of a second.
Oh, through lava. Oh, that's creepy.
How can I slow that down?
Oh, yeah.
I have to figure out how to slow that down.
There's no delay tool, or you can't send them in a route where it'll like go around in a circle and it won't arrive until it is needed.
No.
Or at least needed by the time you want it to be needed.
No, but maybe I can... I wonder if I can set off this motor with a sequencer as well. Okay, and maybe I just want to manually put some sand in the machine, because right now it's only pulling the gravel. And it needs both ingredients if it wants to make anything. So I'm going to take 1 stack of sand and put it in there manually. And see if the thing is capable of even doing what we want. And the bucket problem I have a thinking is fine-tuning. I either need to find a thing to build, or there may be another special kind of pipe or something that I can use for that purpose. I'll have to look it up. Alright, so I'll put in a stack of sand. And, oh, okay, it immediately made an empty bucket. And... now where is the... okay, it's not pulling... okay, it's not... the other pipe is not pulling the produced ingredients out. Ah, okay, there we go. There we go. Okay, so that's how that needed to be done.
I'm like stuck in the geometry.
Well, it's too bad you can't see this, because it's actually working.
Okay, I dug myself out. Oh, cool.
I can hear you digging. Where are you? Alright, so yeah, so come downstairs. This is mostly working. The timing of pulling the empty buckets is still messed up. What happens is that when this engine gets up to speed, it pulls out all the buckets, and then there aren't any full buckets to go into the system. But when the timing's correct, and there are buckets in there when the signal is made, it does make a water bucket, and that bucket does come out. Yeah, I think if I hook this motor up to the sequencer as well, that might do it. Or maybe put a second sequencer on it, so that basically this one fires to put water in the bucket, and then the second one fires to pull the water bucket out of the dispenser and put it into the craft bench. Oh, now I've got...
Oh my god, that looks so convoluted. It's like walking into Doc's laboratory.
So basically what happens is that gravel and sand that we collected upstairs is being pulled through this wooden pipe powered by this engine out of that chest down into the side of the crafting bench, and it becomes ingredients for the recipe of the craft bench. the pipe on the top and this motor here are pulling the produced concrete out when it's made through this wooden pipe and down here. And these two funny things here, the colored ones, these are diamond pipes. They do sorting. So basically, this one over here, this one, sends concrete through the yellow out to the chest, and it sends empty buckets through the blue into the dispenser. The dispenser takes a signal and turns an empty bucket into a full one. This motor is supposed to pull anything out of the dispenser and put it in this pipe, and this sorting pipe is supposed to say if it's a full bucket it goes to the crafting bench, and if it's an empty bucket it loops back around. The problem is that the motor pulls all the buckets out too quickly. Oh, now I'm stuck on the pipe. Okay, it's pulling them all out too quickly. I need it probably fired by its own sequencer. Let me try building another sequencer to replace that switch. As far as convoluted goes, I mean, this is nothing compared to the things that people do. I mean...
Really?
Oh, yeah.
That's pretty wild,
people have duplicated entire 8-bit computers in Minecraft with no modifications at all, just using redstone, signals, repeaters, and pistons, which are just the tools that the basic games give you without any of these complicated energy sources and factories and logic circuits. In Red Logic, you not only have lights and wiring, but you also have logic gates. So you have OR gates and AND gates, and you can make complex circuits. But all Minecraft gives you is repeaters and redstone torches, and that's it. Oh wait, it's getting dark over here. We're gonna need a light.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm gonna put torches up for a second. I just wanted to expand the room out a little bit because you're running out of room.
Oh, and now the inventory. Okay, now the inventory of the craft bench is filling up, and the pipe is overflowing. Or it may... Is that what that's happening? Why is that happening? That should not be happening.
It can't be happening, man. It isn't happening. What appears to be the problem?
I don't know.
What is it spitting out?
It's spitting out the gravel. It won't accept any more ingredients. It's still waiting for a water bucket.
My God, it's gravel full. Okay, can we shut this off?
No, it's impossible to shut it off. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, I'm just saying, if it's a timing thing, can't you just loop out some pipe so it goes up and down the hall before it even gets here? Or is it a volume thing? Because it just seems to be producing gravel too fast.
I think it's just putting the gravel in too fast, and it doesn't want to take any more until it gets some more of the ingredients. Yeah, see, there we go. See, I gave it some water buckets, and now it's making concrete, and it's accepting the gravel.
Okay, so where do you want this gravel?
And now it's doing it again.
So is it a water issue? Well, now it's just putting out sand.
Yeah, because it's taking everything in order. Yeah, and for some reason it's now storing the concrete in its internal storage as well, which it shouldn't have done. It should have gone down the chest. And now it's spitting out sand. Well, there's a water bucket, see, but it's so slow. The water production is so slow compared to
everything else. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
everything
spitting
else.
Sand everywhere. Yeah, the sand and gravel production over here is going at like 10 times the rate of the water.
Well, let me go shut that off. There's more than enough ingredients in there for a while, so I will shut this engine off up here. I should probably put a ceiling switch on that. So we can shut it off
that would
downstairs.
probably be a good idea.
Yeah, that's easy. That's easy. In fact, I've got one here. So if I just put this on the ceiling here, that will allow us... Yeah, we can turn that motor on and off from down here. Okay. Alright, so that's off now. It'll stop sending sand in a second. Okay. So, yeah, the slightly more complicated problem is that the... okay, you know what it is? I think... I think I need to remove the buckets from the bottom. I think. In which case I probably don't need the other... Well, maybe I still do, but I'm not sure if I need that other diamond pipe or not. Okay, so...
I don't know if this oxygen collector's collecting anymore.
Oh, hey, it's working.
Is it?
Okay, yeah, so that's pulling... Okay, so that is pulling the empty buckets out of the bottom of the craft bench and sending them over to the dispenser.
Okay, I don't think the oxygen collector's working anymore.
It's not connected.
Oh, okay, that explains it.
Yeah, in fact, actually, I was going to rewire that for power. I seem to have solved the vampiric draw solution we were having, where we were using the aluminum wire to connect the lava generator to the Galacticraft energy storage module.
Right.
Now that we're using all of the mechanism stuff, so we're using the energy cubes and the universal cable. I noticed that basically everything stays full, and when you're not using a machine, there doesn't seem to be any draw. I don't know whether it's because of the cables or what, but it seems to be fine now.
Okay.
Okay, but now I'm not getting... Now it's putting the concrete back in the inventory, and it's not pulling the top isn't pulling that out. Oh, but it is. But why is it... Oh, because they're coming back. Okay, you dope. That's what it is. See, pipes are weird this way. Basically, any two kinds of pipe that are the same can join where they touch. For Buildcraft pipes, anyway. There are some other mods that have other kinds of pipes and ducts and stuff that don't work that way. And basically... if there isn't anything special about that pipe, what just happens is that when it comes to a joint, half the material goes one way and half goes the other. So the problem here is that I had a piece of pipe coming out of the crafting bench that then went down to the floor and was touching the crafting bench again. So half the concrete was going back into the crafting bench's inventory and only half was going to the chest. Alright, so now... Okay, so now actually there are 2 full stacks of concrete made.
Nice.
So yeah, so the sequencer powers the engine every few seconds and pulls out a full water bucket, and then the crafting bench sends the empty buckets back down through the floor through another pipe and into the dispenser, and sends the concrete down this pipe to the chest. Now basically, like, you can make big stacks of anything else, like, much faster than this system. But the thing is, the water buckets. To do this manually, you'd have to, take the bucket out, run to a water source, fill one bucket, make one batch of cement, and then go and fill the bucket again. And this just automates it. So once this is set up, you stuff the ingredients in the chest, you put water in the thing, and that's it. You're done. You're just gonna wait now. Yep, there's 15 more blocks of concrete. Okay, so when we have enough concrete, then we can deploy the filler and see what we're going to do with it. But I think that'll be it for this episode. I was thinking this was going to be much harder than this, actually.
Well, to me, it looks incredibly difficult. But then again, from my perspective, it's
oh no, I had another
I had another base that literally had all the quarry input filtered. I had a whole level of chests with signs and a basement that was full of tangle of every kind of pipe you can imagine, and it filtered all of the input automatically, and ores got automatically sent to be ground and melted and turned into bars, and the bars went into the chests. And then there were other stuff that's like, well, you want bronze, right? But there's no bronze ore. You have to make bronze from copper and tin. So basically it's like, okay, 30% of the tin and the copper should go down another pipe and be ground into dust. And the dust should be combined like this at a table where it will take 3 copper dust and 1 tin dust and make a bronze dust. And then bronze dust needs to go back down to the furnace to get turned into bronze ingots, and the ingots have to go then to the chest. And there were a bunch of things that could be made like that. Like coal could be ground into dust, the dust can be turned into carbon, the carbon gets turned into plates, and the plates are made into armor, and all kinds of stuff like that. Here we go, some more concrete coming through. Cool. Okay, so that's going to be it. We'll see y'all later.